How y'all doing? And welcome to Woodshed Antics. If it's your first time here, welcome. If you're a seasoned patron, thank you very much. We appreciate your continued support. And as always, like, share, and subscribe. It helps us grow the channel. Today, I'm working on a project. I've honestly been putting this off for nearly a year. It was February 9th of last year. My best friend's sister died, and she was like a big sister to me growing up. And I agreed to build some boxes for their family, some memorial boxes for them. And February 9th's the anniversary. It's been a year, and I've just kind of honestly put it out of my mind and forgot about it. But it needs to be done. So we're gonna make a big push. Today is January 28th. We're gonna try to get these finished into the family before that 1 year anniversary on February 29th. I know that as a wood carver, I've been asked to do this, or a carpenter, a builder, or whatever. I've been asked to do this more than once. It's a pretty common thing. As a matter of fact, I have part of a casket being built over here on this side as a pre-order, which may sound odd. It's a weird subject for me to broach, death. It's not something that we celebrate, but at the same time, I'm honored that these people will ask me to build these final resting places and these memorials, or these, these memories for loved ones, and it comes with the territory. So we're gonna get cracking on this project. Keep posted, stay posted, follow along. We'll keep you. I don't know what I'm saying. It's always good. Stay with us. Other than my shop tools, so my chop saw, my air compressor, my brad nailers, 90% of my shop vac, 90% of my tools are at his house helping him finish his basement. So I have minimal amount of tools here today, so I'm gonna have to get creative. I went to the, done all my calculations, figured out I'm gonna need to make this a 6x6x6 box to get this out of a 10-foot board. I didn't know what I was going for today. I went down to the hardwood store and was looking for wood. This happened to be on sale, and I purchased it. So I came home with the board I got and decided I needed to make 3 boxes. Started dividing that out. I come up with a 6x6x6. I can get 3 of those out of a 10-foot board. This board will work, but because they've come from the mill, they have rough edges, and I could run this out and run it on my joiner. The problem being is that my joiner is outside in the garage, currently buried under other stuff. I've got a project going in the garage too, just like life. You got projects everywhere. So I'm gonna have to get a little bit of creative with it. I'm gonna try to glue a piece of redwood that I had previously trimmed off to the edge of this to give me a straight edge to run through my saw, and I could start building from there. So I'll just trim a small piece off after I glue this on, square it up, see if I've got a good square edge, drop down to that 6-inch mark that I need, and rip them down. Then I'm gonna run them through my planer. We'll show you that, and we'll get building. So I've never tried this before. We're gonna see if it works. Here we go. And as always, if you see a better way that maybe I'm missing, throw it down in the comments. Maybe we can all learn something together, huh? So as you may have seen on the first board that I cut, I might have put a little too much glue on. I went a little more sparingly on the second board. I'm not worried about what's on this piece of cypress. I believe it's cypress. I'll have to go look. See, I'm pretty sure that's cypress. I was able to scrape this off with, one of them sharp things that you go like this with. One of them. It sucks to get old. I was looking for the word chisel. I was able to take one of my cheap little chisels and knock this glue off to glue it on the second board. I think that that method I've seen in the past. I've never used it myself. Hot glue seemed to be the trick. It seemed pretty simple. I'll put my piece of scrap back over. We'll try it again. So the next step is I'm gonna switch the table saw around. I'm gonna roll the planer out. I'm gonna plane these boards down to get 2 good surfaces on, and then we'll cut this down to the 6-inch and then chop them up, and then we'll see where we're at. We might be able to start assembling a box. I think I'm gonna do, I haven't decided on the joints yet. I might just 45 them and glue them together, dado in the bottom. We'll see. I haven't got it fully thought out in my head. We're just gonna get these cut down to size and we'll go from there. So we'll go over this real quick. This is Alder, is what it ends up being. Just for curiosity's sake, let's see how we do. Not bad. That is actually a fairly decent joint to be cutting off of. So we're gonna be fine with the 6.6 for what this is. If I was building something much longer, I'd have to go get the joiner, but where I'm dealing with 6-inch pieces. So this is 7 board feet of Alder. I picked it up for $13.51 from my local hardwood dealer. I bought another board with substantially more money. That'll be another video, but coming soon. This does have, I don't know if it's my table. This corner of my table right here is dropped a little bit. I was gonna say that's about a square, but it's not bad. We'll resurface those. We'll be to that next. I actually gotta save this receipt. Important for tax reasons. So just ran into a problem with the wood glue. I put the hot glue on this side of the board, and when I looked at which side I really wanted to work on, I decided I wanted this to be the outside, so this became the bottom. As I set up my planer, I went to run the board through and it kept hanging up on the first board. I couldn't figure out what it was. It's the hot glue. So I'm gonna have to run a pass, just a skim pass to remove the hot glue, and then flip it back over and run it through on the side I want to get the finish I want. But there was a con to the hot glue method. Just wanted to pass that along. So this is a live and learn moment. I used the hot glue method, and as you can see, I've smeared it across the bed, and now I have traction devices versus this nice slick stainless steel. So I'll get out some rubbing alcohol, try to clean that off, and we'll start again. Let's see how long it takes. I am pleased to report that just a little bit of rubbing alcohol, a little elbow grease, 2 minutes, I'm back on track. It was 70% Isprol rubbing alcohol. Worked like a charm, so back at it. Okay, so we have a good edge, this actually turned out quite nice. It's a little prettier than I first expected, but we have 2 good edges to work from. I'm going to go ahead and mark this all out, rip it down to the 6 inches thick, and then the 6-inch boards. I think we're just going to 45 the corners, miter those so that they fit together real nice. And I'll do the 3 sides, and then maybe some magnet closures so that you know, you could get in it if you wanted to after they've added the ashes. We'll glue it for them if they want, or however they want to do it. If they want to put stuff in, keepsake stuff, take them out. We'll just put some magnetic closures on the lids so they're able to do that. But let's get cutting these down. I always try to unplug everything before I get to working over top of it. Oopsie. 3 boxes, all cut the same way. I don't know how this is all gonna line up, but I imagine if I had a brad nailer and a little bit of glue, it's just all gonna line up. So I might use the old tape trick to get these lined up. Come on, you know what? Let's use some more of that tape and a little bit of wood glue to do the 3 sides. Then we'll dado in our magnets. That should be fairly straightforward and simple, but we should end up with a nice, smooth, uniform box. All my joints are looking pretty good. I'm gonna get some tape out. We're gonna tape up one of these boxes. We'll fold it up to C, and then we'll glue and hot glue and see if we can't get that all together. So I don't have any painter's tape that I can find. It's just Murphy's Law, right? I mean, you need the tape, it's nowhere to be found. I'll be looking for packing tape here in a week, and all I'll find is painter's tape. So it's just how it is. So what I'm doing here is I've I've taken this board to kind of square up these two and I've taped them. So this one is just gonna have to be to the best of my eyeball down this way, which I think is fine. I've never used packing tape for this. I'm not really a fan of joinery like this, but we'll figure it out. Okay, gotta get it off that lip right there. There we go. Something like that, pulling it in. Bingo bango. Rub that down. Now I think if I'm careful with this, pick it right up. No, I'm not that special, am I? I was hoping I was that special. I am not that special. I'm trying to follow the same grain pattern here. I think we're right about there. So, I thought I had a gallon of glue. It looks like this is what I've got. I might have to go out in my garage, see if I can find any more, because it looks like I swore I had a gallon. Oh, there she is. So I'm just gonna go onto each of these faces. And I'm not going to go all the way to the corner, and I'll show you why. Okay, we're smeared around. I had a rag full of alcohol. Alcohol, where did you go? There it is. I got this one now. So I think what I'm gonna do is take my hot glue gun here and get the cord untangled. That's a good place for me to get out of there. There you go. I'm gonna put a dot here and a dot here and a dot here and a dot here. Oh, let's fold that up. Shazam. Hold that for about 10 seconds. Man, that should hold. So what I neglected to do was these joints here. So before I stand up any more, I'm gonna go ahead and get those. Yeah, go find some more glue. Oh, for the love of Sam Pete. Spit it out, Chuck. There you go. Yeah, this one here. And this one here. I'll go through real quick, smear that around. Okie doke. So now we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A little here, a little here, and a little here. Let's tip that one up in place and see how she looks. Beautiful. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, that's a thing of beauty. A thing of beauty, I tell you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. I'm gonna go a little down that crack right there too as well, just for good measure. Beautiful. liking the speed of this, and I know that some of these joints aren't absolutely as tight as everybody's gonna complain about, but I got secrets. We're gonna try a few on. I'll see if they work. We can go from there. Last corner. Oh, the bottom fell off. Why is that? Okay, I think that is that. I'm digging this hot glue method. And there you have it. So I'm gonna put some magnets in on this side. I'm gonna sit and twist this till I find the most desirable shape. See, I got a little bit out right there, but it's an urn. It's not gonna be down and people handling it all the time. And I think I'll just go ahead and putty, you know, seal up some of these cracks before I sand. But there's one. I'm gonna keep putting the rest of these other 3 together, and we'll get them. I might put something around them, trying to hold them together tonight, but let's just see how far we get. So one of the things I want to point out real quick is when you're laying out this box, it's tempting to lay these grain this way, which it wouldn't matter much if you went this way, as long as when you drop the top on you were right. But you can also go, is that right? This way. So when it all folds up, you want all the grain going the same direction. So for instance, this is going the same way all the way around the box this way, with just the top and the bottom. You could do it the other way to where it was like this, but I personally like it this way a little better, but that's how I'm laying it out. But paying attention to the wood grain, it's all going around the corner. You can kind of mess around with lining those up, seeing what goes where and how nice it looks and so forth. But we're going to go with something like that for now. So you want to know how it goes? Couldn't find the tape a little bit earlier. Okay, we're back. The camera died. So we're going to jump right into this alder. It's a pretty straight grained wood. Not a ton of character to it, but we have some joints that aren't absolutely tight. There's some knot holes in some of it, and some cracking. Like this piece has got this big notch out of it, and I'm just gonna fill these in. It's a good way for me to fix some of my errors real quick. I'm gonna show you how I do that. Now, the wood glue worked really well. The glue gun I'm using is an AdTech Pro 200. I'm not sponsored by any of these guys, and I use AdTech's glue sticks. This is a high temperature glue gun. It 410 degrees. It's 2600 watts, 120 volt. It's been really good. I've used this a ton and really enjoy it. And my other thing is, you know, when you get these large 10-inch glue sticks, a 10-inch glue stick, if you have a couple of these on the table, it's a ton of glue. You're not running out all the time. You know, these little 6-inch glue sticks. What I'm going to use for the wood filler is a product called Woodwise. It's no shrink patch. Mineral Streak Black PQ5016. I'll try to put a link to this as well. I don't know. I get this from a local company. I'll see if I can find it for you. If not, you can look it up on the web and find it. It's 6 pounds. It's, you know, $20 for, goes a long ways. It's a good product. I just simply take a little of this powder. I have an old yogurt container I'm gonna pour a little bit in here. Super easy to use. I got a quarter cup of this powder in there. This is just some straight up water. They recommend, I think it's 2 to 1, 2 parts powder to 1 part water. I just eyeball it. Make it look a little bit like pudding. You can add dry powder to it. It says right on the box in the directions. If it's too thin, you can add a little bit of powder to it. One of the things that's going to happen is this alder is just a little plain. So this black's going to suck down into the pores as I put this on the wood. And not only is it going to fill the wood, but it's going to give us a little bit of texture and depth and color when we sand it off. And it's not going to end black. That's not at all going to be the case. It's still going to be the color of alder, but the cracks and the damage to the wood and that stuff is going to be a black color. This wood paste is also going to allow me to help center those lids before I put the magnets in, so when they close there's not a big air gap. You just saw me make just a little bit more. It was a little thin, so I added a little powder, went a little too far. I'm going back the other way, I had to add a little water because it was a little dry. Chasing, but I think we're good here. This is a pretty nice consistency. I always use scrap lumber, stuff like that. I don't like cleaning up, so this can go in the garbage. I have a little scraper I got from my local wood store. So this lid actually fits good on this box. I'm going to pull it off so that I can manipulate the box, but we're going to just, you can see, kind of thick. That's all right. Looks good. Just going to spread it. Going to cover the entire box, but paying particular attention to these corner joints, making sure I'm working that down into that crack, getting it all the way down in there so that I'm filling that, and that when I go to sand that off, that crack's filled. I'll have a nice black line there. It'll give it some good contrast. It'll seal up really nice. I think it's going to look good. You guys can be the judge of that here shortly. Now I'll just continue to coat these till they look like this, 100% black, and that's about it. See you next time.